Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Indy. How's everybody doing today? Awesome. Hi, how are you? I haven't seen you forever. We're just going to sit here and talk. Did you bring your you? Okay, it's all good. Right. Is everybody feeling groovy today? Yeah. Alrighty. Here we go. You can stand up and sing with us if you want to. 2, 3, 4. I'll play the right key. Thank you. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Far out. All right. It is the Sunday of Love here at Unity of Indianapolis. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Michael Everett Davis. Please join me in affirming our statement of truth. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place, and in all places, and in all people. Knowing and accepting this, we bless all people, no matter their race, no matter their color, no matter their creed, no matter their expression of love. Knowing that there are many paths to God, many names for God, many faces of God, but only one God. And this God is expressing through all creation in many, many ways. We come together today, whether in person or via the internet on Facebook Live, to experience and to express the Christ Spirit that dwells in each of us. And so it is. Today's daily word
Sunday, April 18th, 2021. Pray for others. I find this one so very appropriate today. With mind and heart, I know the truth for each person I hold in prayer. A friend, someone said, knows the truth for you until you can know it for yourself. Praying for friends, family members, and those I haven't met, I center my awareness in the truth that each one for whom I pray is a living expression of God, just as I am. Letting go of fear, I release thoughts of lack, illness, disharmony, or any limitation. I see each person for whom I pray abundantly blessed. I see each one warmed and comforted by divine love that lifts their hearts and brings harmony to their relationships. I affirm their abundant living, guided by divine love, wisdom, and understanding. I see each life unfolding in perfect divine order, enjoying security, health, and joy. I will pray with the Spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praise with the Spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. 1 Corinthians 14:15. And our monthly affirmation? Let's read this together. An inexhaustible stream of divine love pours through me, blessing others and myself. Now let's say it like we mean it. Beyond the words, let's feel this and know this to be true. An inexhaustible stream of divine love pours through me, blessing myself and others, or others and myself. All right, we're going to prepare for meditation. We'll prepare meditation with a song leading into meditation with Michael Wright.
Welcome, friends. And let us continue in this divine, exalted space of love and peace and joy. Allow your breathing, that very breath of Mother, Father, Creator God, to relax your body, chasing away any shadow of concern, discomfort, or dis-ease. We are made in the likeness of Mother, Father, Creator God, and therefore we are divine creatures of love. So as you feel yourself relax into your seat, letting go of any outside concern, allow yourself to feel that warm embrace. And now I invite you to turn your attention to your solar plexus. See here your light. And knowing this light is your love, allow it to begin to expand. Feel it filling your body with a warmth. And as it expands, then see it spilling outside of your body, which reveals then your aura. And let us expand your aura even further until it blends with the auras of the rest of the people in the room. Feel that love growing as we connect. And now let's just expand that even further, filling the sanctuary and moving into the rest of the building, washing it with love. Expand further. See it spilling out into the streets of the city like a wave, and seeing it touch the hearts and minds of our brothers and sisters in Indianapolis. And let us even expand it further now into the state of Indiana. Again, gaining strength as it grows. And now, see it filling the North American continent, connecting us with our brothers and sisters and the children of the world. This wave of love is much needed now. Now see it traveling across the ocean into other countries, touching the hearts and minds of people of other faiths, other ethnicities, different belief systems. Feel it uniting us. And now that we see the world surrounded in this wonderful, warm light of love, let us expand further into our solar system. And as we look around, we see the wonder of all the power that there is. This power is at our access. Everything we need is here. And further into the Milky Way, and then expanding even further into other galaxies. Looking around and seeing the beauty and the perfection of the universe. That is what supports us. That is what's available to us. And now, as we continue to expand together in this consciousness, we move toward an inviting light. And as we come closer, we realize that we are in the presence of Mother, Father, Creator God, in all of its glory. And we realize right here in this space, right now, that we are one with Mother, Father, Creator God. Let us say this to ourselves. Mother, Father, Creator God, and I are one. Mother, Father, Creator God, and I are one. Together, we create our existence, our pathway in life, and affirm our connection with all of the energy in the universe. Let us stay here for a moment in the thought, Mother, Father, Creator God, and I are one. Sweet Spirit, we celebrate our connection as co-creators of love and peace. And there is joy in doing so. So let us now begin to return with that light surrounding us into the universe, back through our sister galaxies, back through the Milky Way, back into our solar system, back into the earth, back across the oceans, back into the North American continent, back into the state of Indiana, back into the city, back into this building, and back into your seats, with that connection still existing. We know that the love of God is profound and awe-inspiring and unconditional. And this is who we are. We realize that in the world of human interaction, there may be times when the expression of love changes. However, we know that God's love never changes. No matter what we say or do. Divine love for me and in you is unchanging. So knowing this, we make the decision to love generously as we commune with that spiritual presence expressing as ourselves. We can open our hearts wide and share the limitless love of God with everyone. And we realize, as our awareness of God lifts us, we are a channel of that love to the world. And we accept this with joy on our hearts. And we thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Amen and namaste.
Let the peace. And so it is. All right. Sue, bring up the house lights. There you are. All right. Everybody's looking pretty groovy today. It's time to meet and greet from your seat. So you can stand up, turn around, wave at each other, give each other eye hugs. Okay? Those are great. Okay? I love some eye hugs. And then when the music starts going, go ahead and sit back down and enjoy. Hello, Facebook Live people. All right. Love is not a song we sing, and fear is the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you think I know why. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, and we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns to her arms and we're about to blow the sunlight, fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now, right now, right now, right now.
And yes, that was Freedom Rock. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is so good to see so many folks, and I know we have several folks tuned in online as well. For those of you who are watching through Facebook, it's not a sea of tie-dye, but there are several folks who got the memo and are wearing their tie-dye this morning, which is lovely. So, let me get this ready in hand. I have not used this for a while. So here we go. Picture it. There we go. The Lincoln Memorial in October of 1967. Nearly 100,000 people show up to protest the Vietnam War, and about 30,000 of those would continue later to march on the Pentagon that night. Picture it. San Francisco, 1967. When another 100,000 or so descended in San Francisco, especially in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, for the Summer of Love. Picture it! A dairy farm in Bethel, New York, just outside of Woodstock in 1969. Over 400,000 people showed up to be part of a music festival that would define a generation. Welcome to the Sunday of Love. There we go. Now, I know many of you were not born yet during that time. Some of you were mere children, and some of you were slightly older children. So wherever you are in that time frame, this was a time of turmoil in the country, right? It was a time of sending our soldiers off to fight foreign wars on foreign soil. It was a time of racial injustice being brought to light. It was a time of a generation gap when the older generation and the younger generation just did not see eye to eye. Or as for the last one, as Richard Nixon put it, the children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. They contradict their parents, chatter before company, gobble up dainties at the table, cross their legs, and tyrannize their leaders. There's Richard. Oh, and sorry, that was not Nixon. That was actually Socrates. So this has been going on for thousands of years. And I'm sure when he said that, there was somebody in the crowd who had the ancient Grecian equivalent of, okay, boomer. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Right? Racial injustice being brought to light. Well, yeah, there's been a lot of that recently, and it's necessary. Fighting overseas in wars that are not ours. Sounds familiar. And again, generational divide. Yeah, millennials, boomers, work it out, right? This world, obviously back in the 60s, early 70s, brought about artists who were crying for peace. There was this counterculture who had this mantra of peace because of all the war, because of all the turmoil. There was also that mantra of love because of all the hatred that was being witnessed. And yet, globally, things shift, but those things don't completely go away. I searched through old Unity magazines for articles from that era. Not that many are available, but I was lucky to find the 1970 April edition of Unity magazine available online. And that magazine had multiple articles that were interesting, but there were a couple that I found of note because of their content, also because love and peace appeared in their titles. So one was an article by Glenn Claremont. The title of that was "The Verdict is Love." Glenn had written of attending a seminar, a conference that was called the Survival Seminar, and it was under the joint sponsorship of Unity and Religious Science. And the speakers that were invited to participate were from a wide variety of backgrounds, faiths, and disciplines. One of the speakers that he wrote of extensively was Dr. Rollo May, who is the author of Man's Search for Himself, amongst other titles. And again, there were many things. Feel free to look up this issue of Unity online. It is available. Read the entire article. I'm just going to pull out a few points. But one of the things that Dr. May talked about was about the youth of that day in 1970. Speaking of the youth, he said that in some cases, unlike their elders, they rightfully claimed that technology was made for us, not us for technology. And I don't know if you've ever had the feeling that sometimes we battle the technology, right? It's the reminder that technology is made for us. We should be in charge of our technology. And the youth of that day were espousing that. He went on to say about that group of youth, they were the first generation to assume that they had no future, and that they would have a chance only if we would realize the danger of them not having one. And again, I think the same holds true today. I know a lot of youth that feel very disenfranchised, feel like their world has been misspent by the generations before. And if we do not see the danger of not allowing them to see a future, we're blind, right? So these same things are holding up. And he also, Dr. May, before ending his talk, quoted Martin Heidegger saying, "The foundation of human being is care, a state of being which characterizes man as man." Of course, that's very gendered. I would say human as human, or person as person. We become human by virtue of being able to care. It reminded me, there's a story of anthropologist Margaret Mead. And she was asked the question, what was the first sign of actual civilization? And people thought it would be pottery or writing or a structure, a building somewhere. And she said, the first sign was a healed femur, a broken leg bone that had healed. Because in the animal kingdom, if you break a leg, you cannot run from danger. You cannot get to your food or water source. You die. A healed femur meant someone cared. Someone actually took care of another human being. And that, to her, was the first sign of civilization. Along the lines of that theme of caring, Glenn Claremont, the author of the article, described the entire thing as a feast of love because every speaker spoke on love. And he also invoked the speech of Dr. Everts Loomis in his article. And Dr. Everts Loomis said, "You can't reach heaven by betraying earth. If we are to keep a perfect balance between our humanity and our divinity, we must be ready to speak only the words that we are ready to live by. We are living in a three-dimensional world and must learn to find expression in the fourth dimension of being. This must be personally discovered. It is ready for us when we are ready." So many wonderful messages, right? And again, this is only a portion of what was in the article, which I know is only a portion of what was in that entire seminar. In this same periodical, there were some writings from Charles Fillmore. Now bear in mind, this was, again, published in 1970, so that was 51 years ago. At the time it was published, his writings were 31 years old. It was written in 1939. But Fillmore had written about Jesus giving us the commandment to love God, love our God with all of our heart, our mind, our soul, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. The thing is, he went on to say that most people think of that divine love, that unconditional love, as something outside of us, outside of everyday life. We think it is something that is limited to that mystical religious experience, or it's limited to the saints, and it's not. It is, as was noted earlier, it's the underlying caring that makes us into humanity, and it is right there in front of us. Fillmore, also brought up the author Henry Drummond, who spoke of divine love or unconditional love as if that unconditional love was being passed through a prism. And that spectrum that comes in this full array of ways it shows up in the world. Patience, kindness, guilelessness, generosity, all of these different ways it shows up. And I love seeing love that way, as these differing wavelengths of love, which very much puts me in mind of the writings of Dr. David Hawkins. I know some of you are familiar with David Hawkins, his book Power versus Force especially, but there are other books as well. Because he uses kinesiology, or used kinesiology, muscle testing, to basically rank these levels of consciousness. And you have the lower levels, you have the shame and the guilt, those things that bring about a destructive nature. And of course, no one wants to live there. Some do, some of us have, some of us maybe right now. But there are all these levels above as we climb up and we start seeing, one of the lowest levels of actual knowledge, I believe, was challenge, where it's like, I can see that I can get somewhere else. And then you get to a neutrality, and then above that you start getting to the real positive ways of conscious living until you get toward the top. And yeah, love is right there toward the top, that unconditional love, but it is not the very top. There are things above love in that vibrational level. Any ideas? I'm just curious. What do you think is above love? No, but that would make sense, right? But it is not. There are three things that show above love. Love those. Still not the ones that we're talking about above. Joy is right above. And it's that sense of, again, living in joy. So that sense of joy also sort of subsumes the love. Like you're already in conditional love, and you're taking it a step farther, where you're not just loving everyone and seeing everyone as love, you're being joyful about it, right? Above that, but still not the top, is peace, where all those lower ones, that state of being is much more about, I've got things to do. There's love, I have to help these people, which is valid and true. But when you get to peace, there's that calm and understanding, right? And it's not so much about, I've got to do. It's more, here's something I have an opportunity to do, but it's not the sense of urgency or the sense of demand that you get below. It's a deeper way of peacefully coming at it. The one above peace, enlightenment, which, there are a handful that get there, right? We can name a few of those. And the thing is, he talks about you may experience multiple levels of this, and it doesn't necessarily mean, if you're feeling guilt, that doesn't mean that's where you are necessarily living, right? You can experience guilt and still, in that moment, come back to unconditional love, if that's where you really are. So feeling something for a moment does not define your level of consciousness. I've spoken before, for those that care about such things, there's a psychological model that psychologist Steve Behrman has used. He's out of San Francisco, and it starts with the body in the middle, and then we have the emotions around that, because the emotions affect the body more than the body affects the emotions, although it goes both ways, but the emotions are more aware of the body. And then you have the rational mind, which can kind of affect both of those more directly, even though they do affect the mind. Beyond that, you have the trans-rational mind that sort of oversees everything. And then, to my way of thinking, beyond that is the God mind. I see these levels of being in very much that same way, right? You may have shame and guilt somewhere way down there, way past, and you've dealt with it, and it might resurface occasionally, but that's not where you live. But you can revisit any of those levels, but the higher the level of your consciousness, the more you can see that thing for what it is and realize it doesn't define you, because you're seeing it from a higher perspective. Is that making sense to folks? Okay. Let me move on from that because that is Dr. Hawkins. I've mentioned him. I'm not quite done with him, but there's a face to go with the man I'm talking about. Dr. Hawkins said, amongst other things, one must remember that love and peace are the greatest threats to the ego, which defends itself by resorting to entrenched positionalities that lie hidden in the unconscious. It's a little bit stilted and fancy, but basically, love and peace threaten our ego, which will not play fair to defend itself. It uses our unconscious, our subconscious, to protect itself from going away. And our ego's not going to completely go away. It is how we show up in the world. But the ego does not define us. And sometimes there's a fear that if I give in to this unconditional love, if I see this love flowing and everything is love and we're all equal, my ego feels diminished, right? If I'm in peace and I don't have that drive of gotta do, my ego feels diminished. And it wants to protect itself because it thinks it's protecting us. So it will use everything it can to get us to fight against that. But another lovely quote from Dr. Hawkins: we change the world not by what we say or do, which is what the ego wants, but as a consequence of what we have become. So it's not about changing all of this. It's about changing all of this. This month, we have been reciting about love. An inexhaustible stream of divine love pours through me, blessing others and myself. And every time we say it, first time it comes out, it feels a little hesitant, like maybe that love is flowing, maybe. Let me reaffirm it and say it again. I know Charles Roth, who spoke here many years ago, back in the day, used to talk about gold dust in the air, gold dust all around, as this symbol of prosperity, a symbol of divine substance that is always at our beck and call. It is always available to us. The same is true with that love. So maybe think of it. Where did we go? I know, I'm sorry. Somewhere where I'm not getting there. Anyway, there's a lovely image. Carol, if you can find that image, there's a lovely image somewhere in there of some rose gold dust. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's just an image. It's just a reminder. It's a way to visualize, right? Because that gold dust is such a wonderful image. It's easy to carry around. It's easy to understand. And I think looking at it as rose gold dust is the same. There's a whole show going on behind me. That's great. That's great. So if you can picture that love as actual substance flowing. There we go. There we go. Finally, thank you, Carol. So there's an image, right? Something to latch onto, something that you can at least picture and hold that can help your ego understand what's going on. Because there is this inexhaustible stream of love, but we want to dam it up, right? We don't want to flow the love through us because we fear losing ourselves in that flow. But that's what we're called to do. That is exactly who we are called to be. Again, it's who are we called to be so that we can change inside, and by doing that, change the world. It's not so much about changing your neighbor. It's change yourself so that your neighbor can be raised by your example. They see you and go, I want that. That's what we are called to do. By the way, that is not ever meant to say, if there is something that you firmly believe in and you need to take a stand or share your voice, yes, do. You see injustice, be vocal about it, stand up for it. That is absolutely valid. But the change still has to come from within. We have been having these mantras of these songs from the past 50 plus years, calling us for peace and love. The questions that came up from Bob Dylan over 50 years ago. How many roads must a man walk down before we call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? And the answers, my friend, are where? Blowing in the wind. Flowing all around. That's where the answers are. This morning, we did a song from 1968 to open up this service. Put a little love in your heart, with lyrics like, think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, right? Or you see it's getting late, please don't hesitate. The time is always now. And I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Or John Lennon's song, Imagine, which has all these beautiful lyrics, imagining a different, a better world, a more peaceful world, without the divisions. Or Paul McCartney's Let It Be. I was reading an online analysis of Let It Be by Christopher Chase. Christopher Chase was the online author. And he had noted that, like many of us, in hearing that song and listening to the lyrics, he thought that Mother Mary referred to the Virgin Mary. But he came to realize that it did not. Mother Mary was literally Paul's mother, who died when he was very young. And so that first verse of that song was talking about when Paul finds himself in times of trouble, when he's distressed, it's as if his mother is coming to him like an angelic presence saying, let it be, let it go, don't worry, do not fear, right? But it doesn't stop there. When you get into the second verse of that song, he sings of all the brokenhearted people of the world. And in, let's face it, 1969, yeah, there was a lot of conflict going on. Vietnam, obviously, was something that we were very aware of, but there was also violence in Ireland and all over. Much like here and now. My heart went out earlier this week and still goes out to all those affected by the shooting this week in Indianapolis. And this lyric, this song, this verse is looking at that pain. And it says, although they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. This is the call for peace. It's not saying, hey, it's going to be okay, don't worry about it. It's saying, please, let it be, like the call to Hosanna that we talked about a few weeks ago of, please God help us. That's exactly what this is. Please let this be. There will be an answer, right? Let it be. Let that answer come. Let these people mend those divisions. Let them heal their pain. Let it be. Each of you is a glorious being, a divine, spiritual being having this human experience in this world. And that divine love is your birthright, right? It flows through and to you, but don't let it stop just when it gets to you. It has to come through you. If we do not let it go on through and share it to others, then our affirmation this month is only half right? It flows through me, blessing myself and others. It can't stop if you're going to bless others. Let it flow through you. And don't fear. Let it be. Do not fear that sense of losing yourself because you're too in the flow. I'm going with, we're all divine love. Great. Lose yourself in that flow. As the praise team comes up to close with a musical meditation, I want to read a poem by Khalil Gibran. It's one that I have known for years, but somehow this week it resurfaced to my attention just in time for this talk. So the poem is called Fear. It is said, that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages, and in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter, there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean, because only then will fear disappear, because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean.
Let's prepare for this music meditation. Sue, if you would lower the lights, that would be great. I just invite you to just be comfortable in your chair. Just letting the chair support you. Let the back support you. Let the seat support you. Let your feet be flat on the floor. Close your eyes or lower your gaze. Let's take a deep breath in together and out. Take another deep breath in. And let that out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And let the love wash over you. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the love. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom.
And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there's still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. 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 There will be an answer, let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Let the peace. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me, shining until tomorrow. Let it be. Let the peace. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. 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 Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Let the peace. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Let the peace. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. We let it be. We let it be.
Take a deep breath in and let that out. And just like love, just like our breath, we breathe it in and we let it out. It flows through us and we let it be. And so it is.
I don't know about you, but doesn't that just feel good? Let us just be part of that river of love today and every day, because there is to be a difference in the world. We can make it. So now is the time to prepare for our love offering. I invite you to go to our website, unityofindy.org, and donate online, or mail a check to Unity of Indianapolis at 907 North Delaware, 46202. And as you prepare your offering, we'd like to acknowledge any first-timers and acknowledge our people might be watching on Facebook for the first time. Just type your name in and let us know you're here. Or type it into the chat box. Is there anyone with us for the first time today? All familiar faces. So we'll let the love wash over us and through us. So now please take your offering in your hand or visualize your gift. I invite you to hold on to your offering in heart-centered intention as we affirm our blessing over our offering. Together, divine love, working through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, all that I receive, and I am grateful. Just a couple of announcements.
Or more.
No, or more, yeah. Stranger things have happened. We want to have you mark your calendars because Saturday, May 1st, we start our yard sale and marketplace. It's going to be the first Saturday of every month in the south parking lot. And that's going to be pretty exciting. There's going to be a lot of things here. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food trucks. So you can come and sing and dance or whatever you want to do. And bring your things that you're releasing that no longer serve you to join in this fun activity. And we'd like to thank Carol Wellman for organizing that. And then also, yes, Carol, that's you. Also, I would like to extend a big thanks to the loving crew that showed up yesterday to open up that garage and clean it out. So we really appreciate that effort, and we're breathing life into every space we have, and that's going to be super beneficial to the function of the yard sale. So thank you again for that. And then also, just so you know, this afternoon at 12 o'clock, the board meeting is going to occur. So we'll be keeping you abreast of what's going on. Big things are coming. And so we're grateful for that. Michael, do you have anything?
All right. Oh, gosh, yeah. All righty. So, Sunday school. We're back open for Sunday school. We didn't have any kids today because I can see Mike and Debbie sitting right there. So that means they weren't back with the kids. But Sunday school is open. Bring in the kids. There's the marketplace. Yay. Okay. Coming soon, a 12 Powers Club. Some of you are familiar with Kim Char Meredith from Naperville, Illinois. She is a powerhouse singer-songwriter and very talented human being. She contacted me oh gosh, a couple months ago and said, I have this idea of this 12 Powers Club. Will you join me? And I was like, sure. So Kim Char and me and her son Parker and the music director from Kansas City Unity North have combined forces, along with Reverend Kitty from Naperville. She's our advisor, but we were putting together a 12 Powers Club. And this will run from July through the end of the year. It's what you get with this 12 Powers Club is there's a website which will have all things 12 Powers. There will be blog posts, there'll be brand new music, there'll be artwork, there will be meditations, all kinds of stuff on the website. There will also be a 12 Powers Club Facebook group. It does cost some money to join, but a big portion of that goes to the Unity Church of your choice. So when you do log in and register for it on the website at 12powers.com, it'll be just right there. There will be, you can choose which Unity in the United States that you would like to donate to, and Unity in Indianapolis is right there. So click on that one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So there'll be, conversations and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really, really excited about this project with Kim Char. And the website part of it is up, and it looks amazing. So join us next week, my talk, For God So Loves the World. Okay? He still does. Okay? And that's it. Okay. Alrighty. So it's time to end our service. Do you guys want to stand in a circle? Alrighty, let's stand in a circle, but don't join hands. Unless you're married to the person next to you. Alright. Or no. Your wife's up here, Kent. Okay. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let it be so. Let it be so. It's happening right now, so let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. It's happening right now, so let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be so. There is a power deep inside of me. No doubt about it, I am divinity. So I don't have to worry, I just let it go. Believing in the good, I let it be so. Let it be so, let it be so. It's
It's happening right now, so let it be. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. It's happening right now. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be. Let it be so. Knowing there is one God, say yes. I claim I am one with Him. Knowing there is one God, say yes. I claim I am one with Him. Be so. Let it be so. It's happening right now, so let it be. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. It's happening right now, so let it be. Let it be so. Let it be so. Let it be so. Just as you believe, let it be so. All right, have a groovy day.